I know, I know I've let you down. I've been a fool to myself. Can't tell that I live for no one else. But now, to all the hurt and pain, it's time for me to respect. Here we go. Oh, I forgot to open VTube Studio. 1 second, guys. We're gonna go back to the wait screen. Just keep listening to the music. So with sadness in my heart, I know the best thing I could do is end it all and live forever. What's done is done, it feels so bad. Once was happy, now it's sad. Love again, my world is ending. Hello everybody, hello Belle, hello Pop-Tart Snake, hello Kit Kat. Hello Zana-chan, hello Sakura, hello Shay. Stuck and frozen. Hello Moxie. Hello Bulletproof Bish. I'm sure I said hi to Kit Kat already. Alright, I've nearly got the model up, guys. 1 sec. Alright, and now we go to... Let's show up. Oh, self. Right now. Now! There we go. Alright. How do I adjust this? It's locked. Alright, I think I've got, okay. Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone who has entered the chat today. Hello, unknown. Sexy sounds. I'll make the most, like, strange noise that a creature on the earth could ever make. And then Sakura will be like, yo, what the hell? Is this Riz? Like, I'll literally go like, and she'll be like, holy crap, that's awesome. So hot. That's, yeah. Well, what can I say? Gremlin noises, Kia. What are you saying, unknown? Is this spreading? Is this like, are more people developing this as like a fetish? The weird noises. Alright. Exhibit Gremlin Riz. Riz, for real. What can I say? It's like, I'm just that cool. Like, I don't even need to use my words to Riz people. I just let other things do the talking, you know? It's a common thing for me. Sometimes when I'm at the bar, I like to walk up to like a woman and just, you know, some people would walk up to a woman and go like, oh, you're an angel who fell from heaven or some shit like that. Nah, no, that's not me. That's not me, all right? Watch and learn. Watch and learn. I walk up to a woman and the first thing I say is and let me tell you, it works every time. Every single time. Those, yeah. They don't call me the best dating coach in the world for no reason. You know? You just being a gremlin might be a fetish. No, what? No. That's not why I do that. You would bag me like that? Of course I would. Alright. Alright, I better get some other music going, because there's nothing on.
It's not crafty.
There's an ad. Okay.
You're back.
What is that sound? If that's too loud or too quiet, just let me know, but I think that sounds about right. With the love whisperer. Yeah, that's me. Noises are the best way to communicate. Who needs language? Exactly. Listen, man. Back in the day, like, I think we need, like, dating was better back in the day, okay? Back in the old days. Nowadays, we've got all these freaking dating apps and all this shit that's, like, oversaturating the market. We need to go back to, like, the good old days of dating, right? Back whenever, you know, all you needed to do to get a woman was go, like, right? Like, I don't know, things were better back then. Like, I know a lot of people like to... Everyone has, like, a favorite, like, time period that they're like, oh, I wish I could have been born in the wrong... Right, I was born in the wrong year, you know? I was born in the wrong generation. I feel that way, too. I seriously feel like... I just feel like a strong pull to, like, the prehistoric period. Or the freaking... when the cavemen, you know? Like, it's just... I guess it's not prehistoric. Is it prehistoric? No, it's like the beginning of history, because it's humans. I don't know. I'm not sure. But anyway, I've just always felt like out of place in our current society, you know? Like, why can't I act like a monkey? Why can't I just go around making noises? Why do I have to use words? Words are stupid. I just wanna grunt and eat and hunt and have a good time. Like, the modern world, the modern generation is ruining everything. We need to take things back to when things were simpler. You know? Back before all this crap happened, you know, for this modern society that we've come up with. Wanna know something? Today's society is so fucking sensitive. You know? Like, everything is just becoming so sensitive, and it's terrible. We need to take things back to the caveman periods. No one got offended back then unless you threw a rock at them, alright? Can you throw a rock at someone now? No. You get cancelled. Right? You didn't get cancelled back during the cavemen. Alright? There's no such thing as cancelling. There's a better time. You could throw a rock at someone. Big giant rock. Not just a small rock, mind you. Like a really heavy one. And like... No. Who's gonna stop you? Like... You could never get away with that now. You see, like, the humor has changed, you know? You can't even, like, make a simple joke anymore. You know? Like, I can't even, like, throw a big-ass heavy rock on my bro without people being like, oh, that's violence. Oh, I'm calling the police. Oh, stop beating me to death with a baseball bat. It's like, shut the fuck up. Like, this wasn't a problem back in the good old days. Like what's up with that? That's so stupid, you know? I don't know. I just think people nowadays are too sensitive. What I think. Yeah, nowadays yelling ooga booga afluga at a woman doesn't get you immediately married. Yeah, exactly. Like it just doesn't work. And I know I've tried it like many times. It has not worked a single time. Like, what is up with that? Bro. Let me tell you guys, modern women, I swear to God, take me back to the days when women were nice and docile and would do nothing but just be like booga booga and just, you know, and then if they didn't behave themselves, you could throw a rock at them. So like, I don't know. It was all, you know what I'm saying, guys? Like, forget the 1900s. Forget all these other time periods that people romanticize. It's like, bro, take me back. Take me back to the you know, to the yabba dabba doo. Alright, anyway. I have to actually start reading answers. Hello, Liliana May. You missed all the random. I don't know if I said hi to you, Toy Box. Hello, Toy Box. Okay. Actually read some answers now. Alright, so. Question was, what's something you wish you weren't bad at? What's something you wish you weren't bad at? And the first answer is cock. Sucking cock. Written by Zana. What? You're bad at sucking cock? After you talked about how much you love cock? You need more practice. Practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. I'll set you up here. Do we have any volunteers in the chat? Any volunteers? We need to help Zana right now. We need Zana needs someone to practice on. Any volunteers? Exhibit needed to rant, hugs to exhibit. Yeah, what can I say? Just the modern world is so bothersome to me. Hello, Viridian. Welcome to the chat. Good to see you in here. You're not always able to make it, but when you do, it's always a good time. I'll pass. Alright, no worries. Everyone, average exhibit stream be like, yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to be helpful. You'll help, why not? We need Ein for that, though. Yeah, Ein would be happy to help with things like that. Okay. So, do you have any tips? I mean, I do have a tip, which is the thing that I use when it comes to that. Anyways, next answer. What's something you wish you weren't bad at? Life. I guess speaking to people, coding, and 3D modeling. That's in brackets. Written by Pop-Tart Snake. Very fair. I wish I wasn't bad at life as well. But it's okay, because I would win. I'm cool and good. And I can always get through it. Because that's what it's like when you're epic, right? Life is difficult, but then you get through it anyway, because you're a Chad. And you're invincible. And that's what I choose to do, and I think you guys should choose to do that as well. Personally. You all ready to take notes only to be disappointed? Welcome, Bulletproof Bish. Alright. Next one. What's something you wish you weren't bad at? Social interactions and public events in general, written by Baki Awkward. Yeah, I feel that. I know this might come as a surprise to some of you, considering that I seem like such a cool and confident, sexy person who is like really good at everything all the time. But I do off stream I'm not necessarily as social and confident in my speaking as I am on stream. You know, that's a surprise. I know you guys think that I'm literally the most amazing person in the universe. And I am. It's just, you know, even the most amazing person in the universe can struggle sometimes. It happens. And I wish that I had that. I wish that I could have the same confidence in person that I do on stream. It's like, I don't want to, like, make all the same jokes that I make on stream, alright? I don't want to go walking up to people being like, hey guys, hi, my sister's pregnant. And then they're like, oh, congratulations. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be a dad. It's like, I'm not gonna make those freaking jokes in real life, right? But I still want to have this level of confidence, right? The ability to just talk. And to talk even when I don't know what I'm going to say next. I just talk, and then I know that I'll think of something as I'm talking. And then partway through the sentence, I won't even know how the sentence is going to end, but partway through the sentence, I'll just banana, you know? If you know what I'm saying? You know? Exhibit can struggle, my life is a lie. Listen. Alright? It's like how whenever God became Jesus, and as God in human form, it's like he was without sin, but he still suffered, right? Because suffering is part of the human experience. So, like, I'm kind of like that. It's like, yeah, I am without sin, I'm perfect, but like I still suffer, I still struggle, because that's part of the human experience, right? You can't be human without having that, even if you are a perfect being. So I'm a little bit like Jesus in that sense, basically. Get an applause in Alabama exhibit? I would. Making incest jokes IRL should actually be a crime, but what do you mean? Make an incest joke should be a crime? Nah. Incest jokes IRL would end very badly. It'd be pretty funny though. It'd be pretty funny. It's just that people would not like it because people are oversensitive. Modern world. This is why we need to go back to caveman. This is why we need to go back to caveman. In the rest of cases, I would give them a dirty look. Damn. You guys being unbased. Freedom of speech? Exactly! Freedom of speech means I should be allowed to say whatever I want without any consequences. That's what that means. That is what the Founding Fathers literally said. It is written in the Bible. Right there on the first page. I'll just do whatever makes a better story. Alright. Let's see here. I'll read the next. Damn sensitive people who don't want to stick it in their sisters, SMH. Exactly. Like, how oversensitive do you need to be to, like... To be put off by incest? Like, bro, come on. You oversensitive. Man. Like, what the hell? That's like, so... You know, like what the heck? What's the world come to? Okie dokie. Alright, I'm gonna read the next one. Alright. What's something you wish you weren't bad at? Streaming on Twitch. The amount of times I have to pause my game to fix audio settings or placement of my kitty bot that is currently useless due to not being affiliated. But I tried my hardest whilst also trying to stream by myself, but recently every stream I've done has been a collab. Next stream on Thursday is another collab, but I'm the only one playing a game, whilst my two quote-unquote friends join me on a call, written by Zana. Boys, friends, in quotes. Are these, like, people you're not too familiar with, or are they... What? It's cool, or... Anyway, let's see. Yeah, I suppose streaming is, I mean, okay, here's the thing, right? Everyone starts out being bad at streaming. I started out being bad at streaming, believe it or not. I know that I seem really cool and amazing and perfect, but I actually wasn't born this way. I had to become perfect through lots of practice and doing things. And that's the thing, right? No one's born... Some people are amazing, some people are great, but people aren't born that way. They become that way. Any one of you can become like me. Any one of you can become as awesome and amazing as me. You work at it. You know, I wasn't born that way. Any zero can become a hero. So, when I first started streaming, like, I was not good at it. You know, I've looked over my past streams, like my first stream. It's bad, it's cringe. I can't do anything. Like, I make dumb, embarrassing jokes that are just silly. And, like, it's all... And then... if I ever did like multiple streams in a row, I would just be silent the whole time because I'd lose all of my streamer energy. And I wouldn't be speaking for the entire stream. It'd be like mostly silence. You know? That feels awkward as hell, just being in a stream and it's like you're thinking what to say, but you can't think of anything to say and you're just silent. And then, in my case, I was lucky because I had people watching from my ASMR channel, but like those people who were watching there are just watching me being silent. And obviously it's going to be even harder if you don't have people watching, because then it's like you have to think of things to say, but then whenever you do, no one's there to hear it. So, thing is, even I was bad at streaming when I first started out. And, you know, look at me now, I'm pretty good at it. So, keep that in mind, and don't let it bring you down if you feel like you're doing badly, and you don't like where you are. Because literally everyone starts out bad. Streaming is not something you're good at just from the very first time you do it. You kind of need to like work at it a little bit. You know, it's and then you will get good at it the more that you do it. You know, there's a couple of things that I'd recommend, you know. First thing is, you know, watch your streams when you've done them. Look over them and watch them. You'll find out how it looked to other people, because you know how it looked to you when you were doing it, but you don't know how it looked to other people. You look over the stream, you get an idea of that, and then it trains your brain to know how it looks to other people when you're doing certain things. And you build that connection in your mind. And the more you do that, the better you get at streaming. You know? So that's helpful. But yeah, it's okay to be bad at streaming because it's not something that anyone starts out good at. So don't feel like you're never going to make it, because everyone, all the big streamers, freaking Ludwig, Sea-Dog, PewDiePie, all those people, freaking Iron Mouse, they all started out bad. But they got good because they kept doing it. And it's not even something, you know, it's like, you'll naturally get better the more you do it, even if you don't apply any specific tactics. But there are tactics that you can employ to speed up that process. For example, looking over your streams and maybe writing down things, like topics to bring up when there's people in the chat. You know, writing down those topics beforehand so you can bring them up and then talk about them. A lot of things you can do. James, one of the friends is her BF. Oh, that's what you meant. Okay, okay. Get to be public. Okay. Anyone watching is like 2 friends. Alright, alright. We'll keep your secret, don't worry. No one gets it right on the first try. Yeah. Yeah, it's like even really good streamers are pretty bad when they start out. I would say, an exception to this might be Peachy, but that's also because she was on before she did her like first stream in a long time. What the fuck happened to my model? There it is. Like she had technically done it in the past, like many years ago, but then like not very much. But then like the main thing is that, you know, she when she streamed for the first time in like ages, she did pretty well at it. But again, you know, she was on my streams and stuff, so she'd built up, like, social... It was easier for her, because she's, like, you know, but she's also just very, she's also quite talented, so don't base yourself on her as well, because she's better than most people at this stuff, I'll tell you that. But even in that case, it's like, you know, had practice through being on my streams, and then that made it easier when she did her first solo stream. That's actually another thing you can do to practice. It's like, if you can just hang out on like a friend's stream. If you're someone who wants to stream but you haven't done it yet, that can be something you try. You're feeling scared of actually starting your first stream. Exhibit simping for Peachy's? No. I would never simp for Peachy. I would never... I don't... That's the craziest, most absurd thing I've heard you say. No. Peachy's like the coolest, amazingest ever. True. It's true. She's kind of like me in that regard. She is amazing, yes. Very true. Yeah, Peachy did have prior experience. Yeah. Well, I forget how much prior experience it was. Seen Baki's clip, mister? What? There's no such clip. What are you talking about? Peachy isn't your sister? She is my sister. She is my sister. Siblings. Okay, next answer, I suppose? What's something you wish you weren't bad at? Cute art styles. I'm going to get told I'm great at art and I've done stuff, cute stuff. I'm talking about chibi in general or anime or anything. I practiced too much realism and it's hard to break that habit. I'm not quite sure what you're saying there, but I think what he's saying is, but this is by Mr. This right. The name they put is the very cool Mr. Venus Princess. You know, the red healthy one. I mean the red healthy one. Anyway, that was Mr. Venus writing that one. Yeah, so they're talking about like yeah, you're good at drawing realistic stuff, but not very good at drawing like unrealistic, like cute styles. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I much prefer like cute stuff to like realistic stuff. I like cute anime art styles. They're really awesome. You know, I get enough realism in the real world. Okay. Alright. Siblings are dating? All of the above? Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I've always found siblings or dating to be like a really dumb game. Like, who the fuck wants to play dating or dating? It's just stupid. He's pretty good at chibi. His emotes are the best. So he is good at it. I mean, no, I've seen his freaking, I've seen his art. I mean, he's literally the one who did my like weight screen. So I think this is just another situation of like an artist like down talking themselves and thinking that they're worse than they are. Maybe it's the case that he's like a lot better at unrealistic styles compared to like, or a lot better at realistic styles compared to unrealistic styles, but like still pretty good. Dating or dating? Yeah. Exactly. I'm always based unknown. I draw in an anime-like style, but my creations are mostly in gacha. True, I'm based. Okay. So I'll do the next one. Draw an anime style, but my creations are mostly in gacha. Oh yeah, like Gacha Life. That was really popular for a while. Still is, I suppose. Second. Okay, what's something you wish you weren't bad at? Loving myself. I have very low self-confidence and self-esteem. There's many things that have happened in my past, but I'm working on it. I wish someone told me this when I was younger, and this is for anyone who needs to hear it now. Stop comparing yourself to others. You're beautiful the way you are. What you don't see in yourself, others see in you. You're important, loved, and worth of many things. Written by Riku. This is very true. This is very true. Yeah, a lot of people just have like low self-confidence. And, you know, a lot of the time that's very baseless. Because a lot of the time people base this off of like, oh, I am bad at this, I'm bad at that. This makes me, you know, this makes me bad. You know, I'm not worth anything. We kind of compare our worth as a person to like our works and like what we have accomplished. That's not what determines your value. That's not how that works. You know, if you're bad at socializing, that doesn't make you less of a person. If you're bad at freaking handling yourself at work, that doesn't make you less of a person. If you're bad at handling your mental health, that doesn't make you less of a person. Not how worth is determined. There is such a thing as your content of your character, right? So the content of your character can be determined by, you know, like moral factors. Like, are you a good person? Do you like to, do you take joy in the harm of others, or do you want to help the world, you know? Things like that. Like, being bad at something doesn't determine your moral worth either, or like how you're like, or you're like how good of a person you are. The content of your character, right? But that even if you're not like as good of a person as maybe you could be, that doesn't mean you're like not worth anything. It doesn't mean you're worth less either. You know, human worth doesn't really work like that. You don't just you know. Your own worst critic. Yeah, that's true. There are two different types of people in the world, right? There's people who are like their own worst critic, and then there's people who are like really arrogant and full of themselves. It's really interesting how many people are at those two extremes compared to like people who have like a good balance. It's like there's two main types of people. It's like people who are so full of themselves that they're like really selfish and evil, and there's people who are too kind to the point where they, you know, too selfless. They don't like themselves at all. They don't take care of themselves at all, but they're caring to others, and they hate themselves and they love other people. It's kind of, it's weird how those are the two extremes you normally see, and I think that's just because like we're creatures that are hard to do like nuance. That doesn't mean it's not possible. It's definitely something you can do. You know, it's like people fall more easily into one category or the other, but you can always work on trying to balance that, you know? You don't want to be one or the other, you want to be in the middle. Whose response did I read? This is yours. By the way, if I'm silent during certain periods, it's because I'm chewing on something. Alright. What's something you wish you weren't bad at? Yep, that's yours. Okay, so there is basic and fantasy answers. That is possible because you did clearly. Now, I could say I wish I wouldn't be bad at being a Naruto ninja. Now, can I use chakra? Or I wish I wouldn't be bad at being a god. Now I'm a god. Now, here is the realistic answer. I wish I wouldn't be bad at cart magic. The true answer is following thing. If this would be following scenario, a godlike entity give you this ability, I would say nothing, because if I wish for something and just get it, it wouldn't be earned. And by Utopia. I gotta be honest, I'm not 100% sure what you were saying there. But I think you were saying... things... It wouldn't be earned if you just were given the ability to become good at something. So you wouldn't necessarily just wish to not be bad at something. But, you know, I guess. I'm not entirely sure. Hey, Big Papa, why were you late? Was the picture I sent you that distracting? Mox, don't tell them about that. Don't tell them about that. Yeah, I was a bit busy. Choosh. I was, you know. We're all just humans who want to do their best? Yeah, that's true. What? Chill out, Shay. No, that's not what I was doing. I was not. Moxie was not distracting me with his... No. That didn't... Moxie was not... No, I'm not... I was not looking at pictures of Moxie. That's not a thing. No. I was doing things that are not that before stream. Right. This one. The comic is canon now? Which comic? So good that it took longer than an hour. Yeah, that's why I'm related. What's something you wish you weren't bad at? Speaking French, specifically between women's legs. Written by Moxie Croissant Moxerson. What's it with speaking French between women's legs? Like, you just go between women's legs and you're like, oh, sacre bleu! Je m'appelle. I surrender. White flag. Croissant. You know, like, is that what you're doing? Is that what they do? Definitely pulled a Moxie exhibit, didn't you? Jorkin being the reason you're late? No. Yes, that to you, Mox. French is so hot. I want me to speak more French. I'll speak more French. Je m'appelle, sacre bleu. Au revoir, mon chéri. Yeah. What can I say? I'm a very well-traveled person. I know all the languages. They call me Mr. Worldwide. Moxie, how could you? I thought you were better than this. Kit Kat, I assure you I'm not. Real. Okay. What's something you wish you weren't bad at? I wish I wasn't so bad at conversations and planning things. Written by Tess Tsukuyomi. Fair enough. Your conversations, that's similar to what's come up. And planning, I'm pretty bad at planning too. I forget shit way too much. It's terrible. It's so bad. I barely qualify as an adult. Is French kiss a French thing? Yeah, that's why I have to call it a French kiss. What else is going on here? Bottom comic meme? Oh, that's what she meant by the comic. Alright, next one. Something you wish you weren't bad at. Communicating my feelings. I'm the most emotional person you'll know. yet is also the one struggling the most with being honest of how she feels or knowing how she feels. Because of that, I stay zip tight how I feel. It bothers me because I want to be honest on how I feel. There's something holding me back to express namely how me expressing how I feel will impact being I care about and don't want to lose. I want to try to get better at that. Hopefully I can, and without harming people I care about and losing anyone because of my feelings. Written by Gunnar Bubbles, aka Shay. Huh, yeah, I mean, communicating I used to be really bad at that, and then I got better at it. But, you know, it's never perfect. Communication is important, but it's difficult. And, you know, your particular issue is that you just don't want to tell them. You know, you don't want to feels difficult. You know, I think it's a common thing, right? Because, you know, you talked about before how you're someone that your friends turn to and vent to and all that. They tell you your problems, but you're not really wanting to do the same. I think that's quite common. It's very common for people who are the most kind, the most empathetic, the most sweet, the most helpful, to never want help from other people because they're afraid of being a burden, afraid of, being hard on someone else. But at the end of the day, you're not any less deserving of that help than anyone else. And if you're willing to provide that help for other people, you should, you're allowed to also seek that from other people. Now, it depends on who it is as well, right? Because some friends of yours might not like that because maybe they're not as close with you, maybe they're just not really a good friend necessarily, or maybe it's just not something they're good at. So, you need to keep in mind, you sort of need to find the right people for that. But a lot of people, even when they do know that there's someone in their life who would help them out with that, they don't really want to, talk about their issues or like vent or anything. But, at the end of the day, it's better for you mentally if you can do that. Okie. What's something you wish you weren't bad at? Making money and not wasting it on food afterwards, written by Skylar. Yeah, imagine wasting money on food. Who fucking needs food? I should be spending it on video games, but I always keep wasting the money on food instead. To, like, eat and not starve. Like, Jesus, what a waste. But I think I'm assuming that what they actually mean is that they're, like, ordering too much food and, like, getting extravagant food and stuff that they don't need. That just tastes nice. That's probably what they mean. I'm good at French and French kissing. What I'm hearing is you're French. A wee wee after my mongoose. A wee wee, huh? Food is not wasting. Yeah, who needs food? It is a waste. It's ice cream, it's a need. Aha, I see. Whoa, Belle's French kissing people in the chat, what the heck? Thank you, Belle, everyone's just... We've got Yuri in the chat again. It's been a while. Okay. Overcooked my pork belly today, so I'm just snacking right now. Oh damn, so you got some free chips, basically. What's something you wish you were bad at? Nothing. I'm perfect and good at everything. Real! Relatable. Finally an answer I can relate to. Holy crap. Just kidding, there's a couple of things like punctuality, not procrastinating, expressing my feelings. I would die before confessing. There's been very few times when I've genuinely liked someone, probably just like 2, but I'm not good at expressing it. And I tend to sabotage myself since I let my traumas and pride get in the way. There are a couple of things more, but those are the ones that bother me the most, probably. Written by Sakura. Let's go! Yuri, Yuri, Yuri! Yes! Something you wish you weren't bad at? Being an adult. Like remembering to make appointments and actually making it to them. Having the energy to keep everything clean. And taken care of after a full day of work. And finding time to do hobbies and hang out with other humans on top of all of it. Even when I try to use calendars and alarms, it feels overwhelmingly impossible. Maybe I just missed that lesson in school. Hey, don't forget to like the video, guys. By Toy Box. Yeah, I feel that too. I'm very bad at being an adult. I'm just barely an adult, right? If I was on the freaking... If I was on Pornhub, I'd be in the freaking barely legal section. Not because I'm 18, but because I'm just not... I'm almost not an adult, you know? They'd have to put me there because, like, if I was slightly worse at my life, I would legally be a minor. So, you know, that's how that works, to be honest. I don't deserve to be an adult. I'm just bad at everything. I can't handle the things that are like just basic. Like basic tasks that for most people they'd consider like the bare minimum. Takes me a lot to do. Little kids wish to be adults and adults wish to be kids again, the irony. Thing is, I don't think I wouldn't wish to be a kid again, because then, like, kids don't have rights. And I like having rights, you know? I like having the ability and having the agency to, like, go places and do things without, like, parental consent and things like that. And, you know, I can at least work towards greater freedoms. Work towards getting my own place and all that, and, you know, all the rest of that, moving places. You know? Even if that's not what I have right now. As a kid, you can't even really work towards it. Never has to be an adult. Exactly. Wanted to be a teenager forever. Whenever I was like a little kid, I did want to be an adult. Because I hated being treated like a kid. I kind of hated how kids just don't have rights. A lot of kids don't really mind as much. They're just too busy playing around being a kid, but, like, I disliked it. I was like, I can't do anything. I'm not allowed to do anything unless someone lets me. If you think about it, it is kind of messed up. Or, depending on who you are, like, if you're a kid and you're born into a family that's stricter, it's like, you just gotta deal with that, right? You can't do anything about it. If your parents are bad in some way, if they're doing something that's harmful, it's too bad. You have to go along with it, because, like, they're the ones in charge of your whole life. You don't have rights when you're a kid. They can just do... You have to go with it, you know? Can't, you know, and it kind of has to be that way, because, like, you can't let children do whatever they want, because then they are too underdeveloped to understand anything, and they'll make the bad decisions, and they'll get themselves probably killed or something. But it's a double-edged sword, you know? Because also, it sucks if the ones in charge of you make the wrong call, because you can't do anything. Because legally, they own you. So, you know, it's a fucked up situation. And that's why bad parents are such a horrible thing. That's why I very much hate those kinds of people. People who are abusive and bad to their kids. Having rights is pretty cool. It is. It is. I always wanted to be a teenager. It's like the best of both worlds. Yeah, it's like... Being like a teenager in some ways is like the best of both worlds. It depends on what kinds of parents you had, right? Because with my parents, they didn't let me do anything as a teenager. You know, like I still couldn't be out after dark. still couldn't like do whatever I want, really. I'd have to inform them if I was going out. Or like inform them in advance and things. And it was just fucking stupid because I wanted to live like everyone else, but my parents were like had a stronger hold on me than most parents did on their kids around that age. You know? It was only after I became an adult that I was able to do more, but even then, they tried to freaking hold on to me. They tried to, you know, but like I kind of worked through that in different ways. But then, as a kid, like I legally didn't have the right to fight for those freedoms, so like it was even worse. At least when I was an adult, I had the law on my side. It's just that they didn't want me to take advantage of the rights I was given by, you know, the government. I suppose. First, being an adult, eat as much ice cream as you want in a day. You have to pay for it. You're also cursed with the knowledge of what it'll do to you. Body. I just want to be 19 forever, don't want to turn 20. I feel that. I don't want to get old. I don't. I don't see any... I don't know, some people are like, oh yeah, I'd be great as an old person, or I'd be, you know, so whatever, looking forward to the wisdom I will gain at that period of my life. That's not what I'm thinking, okay? I don't want to be old. I don't want to be some wrinkly ass motherfucker. I want to always be young. I want to look nice and be, you know, I like youth. It's cool. I wish I could become a vampire and like just not age and then like live forever. But I can't. Because none of the vampires want to really like me. I've tried to contact them. Never works. But yeah, that's that works. Wanna prefer to never age. That'd be cool. Badass. But yeah, it's like the thing is with being a teenager is that yeah, you have a lot less responsibilities depending on what kind of family you're in. But you still don't have like full, but then it's like you don't have full rights, but then like if you're in a good kind of family, like they'll actually let you do things and let you have like most of the freedoms that you should have. And then at that point it's like, okay, maybe that is better than being an adult, because then you have less responsibilities and you have all the same rights in terms of what your parents let you do. So that's, you know, that's good. And I think that's, and I get the appeal of that too, because like, I mean, I like to watch like you know, like high school anime and play things like Persona, which is like takes place in high school and stuff as well. It's because it's like there's a certain fondness I have for those times, even though there's a lot of negative stuff during those times. There's a certain comfort in it as well. There's something nice about it that I don't get to have anymore. And obviously in things like Persona and things like high school anime and all that, it's kind of like an idealized version of high school. If I actually had the choice to go back to high school, I wouldn't, because it had lots of downsides. But through like works of fiction, it's like you can kind of just idealize it or like ignore the bad stuff, you know? It's like, it's a fantasy. It's weird because growing up, I always looked much older, and now recently I'm being told that I'm much younger looking. Could someone math the math for me? Do you maybe like put on like more makeup than before? Because I hear that like there's like, have you seen Emiru? Like Emiru, the streamer. She, if you look at her past images, she actually looked older in the past, and now she looks younger. And it's because she does her makeup slightly differently. But yeah, makeup's pretty incredible. Women can shapeshift. Don't tell the church. Hello, Mr. Princess Venus. Welcome. What does your name mean, by the way? Because, like, you got Mr. Princess Venus, you know, the red healthy one. What is the red healthy one? Like, what do you look like? Are you like a red ball or something? Doma. Welcome. Oh, hello, Doma. Aren't you, I forget what your name was on the other account. But you have 2 accounts, don't you? High school experience was certainly an experience, alright. Yeah, it was, a lot of ups and downs. No makeup whatsoever. Right, okay. Well, maybe just, like, do better skincare or something, I don't know. Hello, Peachy. You've been lurking? Hell yeah. Glad you've been around. Yes, everyone say hi to Peachy. Oh, it's always been like this? Nice of you to remember me, old friend. Nice. Yeah, I might have misremembered then about having another account. But yeah, I do remember you. Moxie refused to say I was a little princess, so I was like, ha, it's on my name now, sucker. Oh, that's why you changed it. That explains a lot. Yo, hugs for everyone. Yeah! Hugs from Peachy. It's a good day. Okay. Did I read this one already? Yeah. Yeah, I think another thing Toybox mentioned is, you know, like, finding the time to actually do hobbies and hang out with people on top of all the work that you have to do that takes up, like, most of the day. It's like, yeah, that's so real. Like, they need to give us shorter work weeks. They really do. Like, this is not... We are not supposed to live like this. This is not the healthy way to live. Yes, we should be having responsibilities in our lives, where we have things to do that maybe we don't necessarily want to do all the time. Like, it's good to have that build character through, like, having responsibilities and having to go do something for, like, a lot of your day. Just not to this degree, right? Because the way it works currently is that it takes up all of your time to the point that it's very hard to have time for anything else. And then on top of that, most people are working jobs that they really hate. You know? Why? It's not really good if you're spending most of your life doing something you hate. That's wasted time. It'd be better if we lived in a world where people could, 1, do things that they actually care about and that bring them fulfillment. 2, that they have a little more free time than what we currently have. But that's going to be hard to do. I mean, we have ways of fixing it, though. We have ways of making things better. You know? There are countries and places that are trying to do shorter work weeks. And that's working out fine. And there's other people talking about stuff like universal basic income, which I don't know enough about that to know if it would actually work, but allegedly, that's a good method. That's a good thing. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not as sure about universal basic income. If it is something that would work in practice, then I think that's something we should do. Otherwise, I don't know. But there are other things that we can do legally to make things better, but people aren't doing it. You know, people just keep making things harder on people. You know, people keep there's forces out there trying to, like, lower minimum wage. You know, like, there's a lot of countries that have, like, higher minimum wage, and then some countries that have lower minimum wage. There's always, every time someone tries to raise the minimum wage, there's always these freaking rich people coming in and being like, oh, no, we shouldn't do that. That's bad. That's bad. It's communist. Can't do that. And it's like, shut the fuck up. It's like, it's so dumb. It's like clearly, yeah, I don't know. Like the UK is pretty good compared to other countries in terms of like its minimum wage. Places like the US and like the surrounding countries, their minimum wage is quite a lot lower. That's dumb. And then people are always trying to raise that. They're like, you know, people need more money. People should be able to earn a living off of one job. But then always people are coming in like, no, don't do that. We can't let the poor people be not poor anymore. We can't do that. That'd be bad. It's like, so dumb. Oh, see you later, Doma. Has worked in practice? Do you mean universal basic income? I think I heard that from someone talking about like how it's better or something, or, you know, but I'm not fully informed on it. I think they said that they practiced, they localized it in like a certain area, and it ended up making the area better, not worse. But I don't know enough about it. But maybe if I look into it, and I find that it's like something that works, I'd start advocating it or something. It's just silly, because there's a lot of issues in the world that are easily fixable. It's just that people, there's so many forces out there that want to keep things the way they are. You know, they don't want things to change, even if it's positive change. Ad in the video, get away. They don't want things to change. Because if it changes, then it's bad for them, because they're the ones in power. They have the control, they get the money. Things change, they get less of that power. Rich people don't want to pay more taxes, even if it makes things better for poor people. Alright. See you later, Peachy. Be a good boy. I will always be a good boy. Lots of places who tried it, even the stimulus checks were good for the economy. The thing about poor people is we are really good at spending money and bad at hoarding it. Yeah, but see, that's in... I keep hearing stuff like that. It's like, a lot of these things that would help poor people and would, like, fix certain problems in society, they work, and they've been, like, tested and proven, but people are just constantly trying to stop it from happening. It's really dumb. Alright. Something you wish you weren't bad at. Crocheting. I'm still trying to practice with granny squares, but I keep messing up with the chain stitch ring, the beginning of a granny square. I end up having to pull it out and retry it again from scratch. I've already tried to do it with different hooks and a different yarn that it gets frustrating to do it all when I try to make a classic granny square. I may just try a different kind of granny square, or maybe take up knitting at this point, which kinda sucks because crocheting was supposed to be an easy yarn activity to do while I watch TV. So I have something to do with my hands while also being productive, written by Belle. Yeah, I don't know that much about crocheting, but I'm sure it's a satisfying activity. But yeah. I mean, it's probably good as a way to, like, keep yourself distracted, like stim. Stream will end soon. I haven't gotten any pig noises. Will it end soon? I don't know. Or maybe. I guess we're halfway through we're over halfway through everything. Alright, Sakura. I did give you other noises earlier, though. Can't say that I don't provide. I think there should be a cap on how rich you can get, but you all know that about me. Yeah, I don't know if we need to put a cap on how rich people can get. Maybe? I don't know, it's like, it's a little... I don't know. So part of me wants to say that's bad, because then that discourages people from continuing onward. If they reach a certain point of richness, like, they'll stop trying to, like, innovate and improve, like, their company, and, like... Because then they're not earning money anymore, so, like, why would they bother? But then it's like, maybe that's actually a good thing. Because then a lot of people get richer by doing incredibly exploitative things. So if they can't get richer, then if there's a cap on how rich they can get, then that means they won't be able to resort to those methods and it'll limit their harm. But, you know, it's complicated. You know. I got really excited and everything because I thought I'd make lots of cute stuff too, not just for me, but for my family and friends too. Yeah, it's always nice when you can create things, cute things, to give to your other people. It's especially good if you can make money off of it and then sell that stuff. Anyone we know even gets close to 1 billion, then we got diversity in companies instead of monopoly. Yeah. Yeah, like, I don't know. I want to be rich, I don't care about the risks. See, the thing is, like, there's a lot of people who want to become rich. There's very few people who actually do. And, you know, this is a bit rich coming from me, because I'm always talking about how I'm planning to be rich or whatever. But, like, at the very least, I don't, like, live my life in such a way where it would actually be harmful if I never do become rich. At least I don't think so. At the very least, I don't orient myself towards making the world worse because I plan to become rich. Because a lot of people who kind of, like, they vote as if they're going to become rich someday. They're like, oh, I don't want rich people to pay too many taxes because someday I might be rich and I don't want to pay those taxes. I'm gonna start a business and become super pog and super amazing. And I'm gonna innovate and change the world. I'm gonna become rich too. You know, people, they think of themselves as like, they're going to become rich and they're just temporarily poor, so they don't advocate stuff that's good for poor people, because even though they themselves are poor, they're thinking, oh, this is just temporary. I'm gonna become like Jeff Bezos one day. I'm gonna start my business and I'm gonna rise to the top. Right? And they think, rather than advocating the things that will be good for them as being in their current class, they're thinking what will be advantageous to them in the hypothetical future where they get rich. And that's not good, because then a lot of people are, you know, advocating against their own interests. And that's silly, because you should not do that if you want to make your life better, you know? But at the same time, I kind of get it, because, like, I think that way too. I'm like, oh, someday I want to be a lot better off than this. In fairness, I think that I have, like, a little bit of a better chance of it, just because YouTube is a way you can get rich, and, like, I've gotten good money from YouTube before, even if it wasn't, like, quote-unquote rich, it was still, like, good. But, like, you know, like, it's not good to... I'm never gonna screw over poor people. Or I'm never gonna screw over the working class because of, like, a hypothetical idea that maybe one day I'll be rich. That's silly. You know? No, don't vote like you're gonna be a billionaire. You're probably not gonna be a billionaire. I'm probably not gonna be a billionaire. I do want to become rich, but billionaire is more than just being rich. It's like so far much more. Don't need to be Jeff Bezos kind of rich, maybe like my cousin. Fucking private jet and lifter on mansions rich. I'd love if I was rich enough one day to afford private jets. The thing is, private jets, they're not good for the environment. They're not. They're terrible. But, like, also, they are kind of swag. So, I don't know, guys. Maybe I can be an evil rich person. Maybe I can... Maybe, you know, who cares about... Who cares about doing the right thing when you've got money? Morals are for poor people. just want to be comfortable rich, have a roof over my head, have food, be able to have basic utilities. Yeah, you want, like, financial independence, which is respectable. I'm already evil, now I need to be rich. Right, exactly. Just need the second part of it. Zana says, what are taxes? Joking. Obviously I know what they are. I just don't pay them. Damn, me too. Anyway. For legal reasons, that's a joke. For the blah blah blah. Government. I'm joking. I'm joking, government. Joke. Alright. I spend my money trying to make as many lives better as I could and spoil everyone I care about, especially. Yeah. I mean, you're very honorable for that. Better than a lot of us. A lot of us would just use the money, so make ourselves feel better. What's something you wish you weren't bad at? Being Zana's submissive, and the name is Exhibit A. Wait, no, the whole server. I did not write this. What the fuck? But apparently it's the whole server saying that. Apparently. Zana! Zana, what the frick? What are you doing? What are you doing? What's something you wish you weren't bad at? Dancing. Trust me. If I improved my singing more and became a goddess at dancing, I'd be an idol. Written by Kit Kat. I mean, something you could try for. I think that'd be really cool to be an idol. I think people who are talented at that stuff are really cool. Good when you can do cool things. I want to be someone like that too, who's admired for my talents. Things I wish I could sing more on stream. I wish I could do like karaoke streams and stuff. Just because I live with my parents, I don't really want them to be like... I don't want them to be hearing that. Yes, karaoke, yeah. Yeah, I'd love to do more karaoke on stream, or more karaoke in general, because I don't get the chance to do it very much. Alright, what's something you wish you weren't bad at? Socializing, written by Lily. Yeah, this one's come up a few times, but it's very true, very real. And I agree. I wish I was less bad at that. I get jealous of people who are like good at socializing and who can like get friends anywhere they want. Like if they ever want to make friends with someone, they just can. They see some, like that people naturally gravitate towards them. Like I want to be like that too. I don't like the idea of missing out on cool experiences and getting to know cool people just because I don't have the ability to like show them what I have to offer. Because when people really get to know me, a lot of the time they do like me. Because there is interesting things about me. And I am a really cool person underneath all of it. But you're not going to see that if you're a stranger. Right? So I just wish it was easier to show people that. Because it seems unfair to me if I can't be friends with someone, even though they would have liked me, just because there's nothing there to establish that connection. That just feels, like it creates FOMO, fear of missing out. Like, I don't like the idea of, like, missing out on what could have been a cool connection with someone just because I don't have the ability to even show them They'll never... They would like me, but they'll never know that fact. They'll never know that they would have liked me. That bothers me, you know? So, like, I someday want to be the kind of person who never ends up in situations like that anymore. Where, like, if I want to get to know someone, I can. Or, you know, people will think I'm cool if I think that they're cool. You know, it's complicated. Not that simple. And, you need to... You do what? You know, I'm getting better at it. Who's that? Karaoke and ice cream would be the best date ever. Karaoke date would be pretty freaking baller. Would love a date like that. You're likable, you can always work on that. If you open a little more, everyone would love you everywhere you go. You really think so? I hope that's true. I really do. Okay. What's something you wish you weren't bad at? Not believing in fairies and Santa Claus. Written by Lily. So wait, not believing in fairies and Santa Claus. You aren't bad at You aren't bad at not believing in fairies and Santa Claus. That means you do believe in them? I'm confused. I'm confused. So wait, you don't believe? I don't freaking know. No. But yeah. It would be fun to believe in, like, things like that. Because, there's a certain magic to being able to believe in, like, magical things, mystical things. There's a lot more wonder in the world when you can believe in stuff like that. But, you know, when we get older, a lot of us stop believing in things like that. But, like, some people still believe in, like, fairies and stuff, at least. Or, like, spirits and all that. Probably different from the kind you believe in when you're a kid. But, like, still variations of those things. Now, Santa Claus... Most adults don't believe in Santa Claus. Are you saying you believe in Santa Claus, Lily? Really? That's uncommon. Santa existed, then died. That's true. It actually is based. Santa Claus, the character, is based on Saint Nicholas from history. Like, he was an actual person, but don't tell me that, Kit Kat. Yeah, you're gonna make Lily sad, Kit Kat, saying Santa died. Santa Claus is real. In this community, we believe he exists. There was that one time I streamed as him. I guess if you can bring yourself to believe in Santa Claus as an adult, I guess that's good in the sense of, like, you get to... you know, believe in something magical and whimsical. That's, it's certainly not common. Would always wake up and be like, Santa! Wonder is a beautiful concept to me. I don't personally believe in Santa or God or etc. But hey, maybe there's something out there we haven't discovered yet. Yeah, I mean, I prefer to stay open-minded as well, because, like, I don't really believe in anything like that. But It'd be nice if something like that was real. Like, I'm kind of hoping for it, but like, I just don't think there's anything that indicates it to me or proves it to me. So like, it would be nice, you know, there to be things beyond this world, you know, or an afterlife, so that I don't just stop existing when I die. Hello, J-Dog. Welcome to the stream. Have you been in here before? Not, then I welcome you. I hope that you will keep coming back, because streams are pretty good, and I think you would like them. So, I recommend you stick around. You join the Discord server. Stop, Kit Kat, my hopes and dreams are at stake. Yeah, you keep doing the Lily. You're ruining her dreams of Santa. At least believe in souls, otherwise you don't believe in yourself. But I don't push belief. I mean, I believe we have a consciousness. I believe that we exist. You know, like, you know? But like, what is a soul exactly, you know? I don't know if we have like a literal spirit that like continues to exist after we die, you know? Big slurp. Yeah, you like the slurp sounds. Alright. What's something you wish you weren't bad at? Motivating myself. I'm bad at getting myself to do things. Usually only end up eating only when I'm starving, hungry. Usually do most of the work to finish things right before they need to be done. Written by Unknown. Yeah, I am bad at that too. It got better when I started working because I kind of had to. It's like there's a real pressure on there. But I've always struggled to like motivate myself to do things. It's always been an issue. No, I feel that. Well, if you don't exist, then we're all a product of Exhibit's imagination, and he's the only human in existence. Exactly, it's solipsism. I'm the only human that exists. You're all part of my imagination. Nothingness doesn't last forever. I believe nothing cannot create nothing, and our consciousness has to merge back with something. That is my belief. That is the explanation a lot of people give as to like why they think there's like reincarnation and stuff. Like energy cannot be destroyed or something like that. I knew someone else who believed in that as well. They talked about it. That's how they put it. I do also think that out-of-body or like the near-death experiences, whenever I hear about that, it definitely sounds very, you know, it sounds like it's indicating some existence of something beyond, but like you could also explain that as like, you know, like, oh, it's just hallucinations. It's just, you know, it's something that the brain does after, because, you know, when people experience brain death and then they're revived, resuscitated, and then they have memories of being in like heaven or something, being in some afterlife, and like, you know, like I think that's really cool and interesting, but maybe there's a scientific explanation. The only thing is that allegedly there are stories where the people come back from those experiences knowing things that they should have no logical way to know. Like knowing something that they did not personally witness, or like when they were having their near-death experience, or when they were in brain death, they like learned something and it turned out to be true. Like that's interesting, because that like I don't know how to verify those instances, but if that indeed has happened, that would be really interesting, because that would be evidence of something. Right, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Toy. But the issue is that I don't know how to personally verify that. Like, I've heard a lot of people being like, this happened, and it's like, oh, then there were like eyewitness accounts and whatever, and it's like, okay, sure, but like, it's hard to really keep track of that, you know? I guess I haven't investigated it closely enough. Maybe if I did investigate it more closely, I'd find like proof. But, I mean, feel free to send me anything if you think it would like convince me. Personally, what I refer to as a soul is the personality of a person. Stripped away from body and brain, a soul is what's left in my eyes. Sure, I mean, If that's how you define soul, then yeah, we'd all have souls, but I feel like then soul is like, I think that's kind of the easy way out. Obviously, I think people who claim that they believe in like souls in a spiritual sense mean a little more than that. Dreams and visions is a field that scientists do not have full comprehension of. That's true. Dreams are so mysterious. Like, the fact that you can have dreams that literally change your memories and make you feel like you've been living a different life for like several years, then you wake up from that. It's like, it's crazy. It's crazy that we're capable of that. I've seen something physically impossible happen, but it's frustrating because I understand how cheap it is as a story. I hope you get your own first-hand experience exhibit. Episode 2, I just hope it's not too scary. Go ahead and head out, but have a good rest of the stream. Alright, bye-bye, Kit Kat. Enjoy. Have a good day. Hello, Tess. Welcome. Come back, Sakura. I think that's, all the answers. That's all the answers. So since I've read through everything, I'll probably unstream soon, but I'll give you guys a little more time to say any last words. Sorry you came here out at the end, Tess. Prophetic dreams? Yeah, you did mention that. Oh, your AC went out on a hot day. That's freaking rough. Some parts of the world get very hot. Pretty crazy predictions that I get in my dreams. Tell you what, if you ever have it, if you ever have a prediction dream about me, tell me, and then I can verify. It's then I can find out if it really works or not. It's like, I'm not calling you a liar or anything, but I need, before I can like truly believe in stuff like that, it needs to be like proven to me in some way. Because like, I don't know your life experience. I don't know if there's things going on that maybe might make you misinterpret certain things or anything like that. I don't think you're lying. I wouldn't accuse you of that, but you know, it's hard for me to believe in something unless I have something to prove it.
We make a pair of pants that
Freaking ad.
Getting dressed should.
What if I have already and don't want to tell you? Hey? You had prophetic dreams about me? I mean, how weird are the dreams? Like, if it's a normal dream, I'd be happy to know it. Or like if you had a dream about something bad happening to me, I might be interested too. Yeah, I mean, if you've had prophetic dreams about me, I would be happy to know what they were. Because then I can find out if they come true or not. And then if they do come true, then maybe I'll believe you, you know? And start believing in supernatural. I've yet to have another exhibit dream, but I promise you'll be the first one to hear. Oh, you fell asleep, Peachy? Was my voice relaxing? Hope you... His voice so soothing. I appreciate that a lot. Had a dream where in the exhibit server it was like a clubhouse and we all got to hang out playing quote-unquote IRL Muday, which is hard to explain, but it was cool. Isn't that just called slavery? Like IRL Muday, like you're trading characters Mude, you trade characters with each other. You like sell people to each other. That was abolished in real life. You can't do that anymore. You know, you're the star in my dreams. Hell yeah. I'm the star everywhere I go. Play scene exhibit? Awesome. I want to find out if this stuff's legit, you know. Slavery? I mean, yeah, that's literally what Mude is. You are trading people. You collect people, and then you add them to your collection of people, and then you trade those people. Slave house with exhibit, oh god. Yeah, that'd be awesome. They're called maids in, I think, 2 Mude servers. The rest are slaves. Yeah. Is it getting passed around? Good god. I'm not getting passed around. No, we would roll and like throw darts for pics and stuff. Oh right, so it was just pictures. You didn't actually collect the characters. It was like you collected images of the characters. Bet you wish though, don't you, exhibit? Shh. Shh. Are we talking about getting passed around or the slavery? Shh. Answer to both is yes. Right. Passing around exhibit like hot potato, but exhibit, hot exhibit. That's just normal exhibit. Alright. Who knows, maybe in the next stream you can have my baby. Why everyone is impregnating Belle? That is just a thing that happens. Passing him at an hour rate or a day rate? Only 1 minute is required, Belle. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? What do you mean? I'm not Moxie, okay? I last a lot longer than 1 minute. I'm not Mox, okay? Okay, 2 minutes. Speak for yourself, okay? If that's how long you're gonna last with me, that's perfectly fine. Okay, I'm not one stroke man over here, okay? I had a dream of who I believed to be Jesus once. It felt like being surrounded by liquid joy. It gave me water, and I felt all the negativity leave my body. Yeah, I suppose, it's a nice dream to have if you're looking for that kind of experience. That sounds about right. That's how people describe like their experiences with like Jesus and stuff. A lot easier to experience in a dream. I'm surprised how many of you guys in my chat are Christians, considering how inappropriate my content is. But I guess it just goes to show that not all Christians shy away from that stuff, or at least the ones, even if you do, you aren't like offended by it to the point of like not being able to associate with me. But yeah, getting passed around would be so terrible. That'd be awful. I hope that doesn't happen. That'd be so bad. Don't. Yeah. Don't. That'd be so bad. That'd be terrible. I sure hope that doesn't. Can't spell Christian without sin. Suppose. My dreams usually have more something along the lines getting locked in the high school gym and pissing in used water bottles. Why are you dreaming about pissing in used water bottles? What? I also had nightmares of demons. While struggling with my sin, I was being held down by a dark-haired woman, and after denying her, she screamed before vanishing. I was petrified when I woke up. Huh. Interesting. Maybe that was like a succubus or something. I'm passing Exhibit A to the next person below me. Yeet. I mean, listen, I ain't complaining, okay? Not perfect, but I try to do good. I mean, that's all we can do at the end of the day. The freaking two conversations going on right now. One about me getting passed around to everyone, and the other one is, someone talking about their experiences with Jesus. The duality of the Exhibit A channel. Or their experiences with, like, Jesus and their experiences with, like, demons. Which a succubus thing? Yeah. Might have been attacked by a succubus. You die. I had dreams where it felt like nightmares, but then I get my swords, then I'm the main character and I fight. I want more dreams like that where I'm like the main character of like a cool story. Like, I don't get those as much now. My dreams are more nonsensical nowadays. Dog, consider joining our Discord. It'd be cool seeing you around some more. It would be. Do feel free to join the Discord if you haven't already. A mosquito bit me on my injured ankle and it's so itchy. No! Fucking skeetos! Bro, fucking skeetos. Skeetos. Fucking skeetos. Fucking mosquitoes. Need to get rid of these fucking mosquitoes. Trying to freaking exterminate them. Oops. Alright. Got incubi attacks. It's funny because I did a freaking incubi video. Although, isn't that what you... Did you say that you discovered me through that video, or... I forget if that was someone else who said that. time I did dream an incubus visited me when I was vacationing in Denver. The next morning, I had the same scratches where he scratched me in the dream, and I didn't stop dreaming about him. Yeah, all sorts of people talk about experiences like that. It makes like spirits seem like real. It's interesting. Have you read all the answers? I have read all the answers. Let me just check if there's any I missed. I think I got all of them. Yeah. Yeah. I'll probably end stream soon. I'm just chatting for a bit longer, and then... But if, yeah, I'll take any last-minute submissions as well. The only thing I'd rather have my blood sucked... The only thing I'd rather have my blood sucked from me would be a vampire. Not a Twilight sparkly one, either. I want the cool vampires. It was freaky, and I couldn't tell if he was real or if I was scratching myself while I was asleep. Yeah, it's an interesting situation, isn't it? Twilight Sparkle as a vampire. Yeah, that's basically what Twilight is at the end of the day. I light so many fires, so it means PG doesn't have to deal with mosquitoes. Yeah, freaking mosquitoes. For real, thought you were talking about Twilight Sparkle because I misread. Yeah. Being a vampire would be awesome. I wish I could be one. Like, I would take it. Like, I don't care if it, like, makes you less human or whatever. I will forfeit my humanity. It means I get to live a longer life and not have to deal with old age and, like, not have to lose my youth. Like, I would take that in an instant. Submitted? Alright. Thank you for submitting to me, Peachy. I appreciate that you are that you have submitted to me. I appreciate you submitting to me, Peachy. If you had to kill people exhibit? I suppose in some vampire stories they have to kill people in order to get the blood. Maybe. I mean, you could just try to kill evil people, right? You could always do that. It might be kind of difficult, but I think I'd probably take it if it meant I got to live forever. And like in a lot of vampire stories, you don't need to kill the victim in order to stay alive. You just need to drink their blood and then not kill them. But like, I don't know, it depends on the story. Peachy, don't give in. I folded too fast. That's a good girl, Peachy. This good girl likes to submit. I'll definitely be joining your Discord because y'all seem cool, yo. Hell yeah. But I haven't scared you off with my degeneracy. You'd be like Light deciding who's evil. I mean, yeah, but I wouldn't be killing nearly as many people. You Edward Cullen. Yeah. I'm him. Bring me all the vampires. Yeah, awesome. We got a new person in the Discord. Alright, so let's read this next one that Peachy just submitted. I was so busy praising Peachy for submitting to me that I've not read the submission. Degenerate is my middle name at this point. Oh, okay, so you're also degenerate. I thought that you were like not one because you were very much talking about being very. But I guess Christians can be degenerates too. They just maybe aren't super proud of it. Also depends what you believe, because sometimes you don't believe that stuff's bad. I don't know. It is really interesting how many Christians are actually in my freaking, both in my audience and in terms of like the people I like collab with. Like, I would not have expected that considering my content. But I'll take it, you know. I accept any and all degenerates. Alright. I'm going to read her submission now. What's something you wish you weren't bad at? I'm not sure if I should put a serious answer or not, but I wish I was better at not getting injured. Like, bro, my body hates me and wishes I was suffering all the time. As soon as I recover from one thing, somehow I hurt myself in other ways. Written by Peachy the Dumbass. Yeah, it seems like you really can't, like, get a break, because, like, you know, you were talking earlier about having issues, other issues, and now you're freaking... Now you got injured as soon as that was over. So it's like, something always happens. But at least you haven't got, like... You know, at least it's not... If it's one thing at a time, that's good. We're not doubling up. This is satisfying. Wait, you guys like the... You guys like the sounds? From the freaking drink and whatever? I don't know if you guys can even... How much of it you can hear. Alright, so... I'm going to end stream now, I think, because we've gotten through all the answers. And there's not much else to talk about. So... Thank you all very much for coming to stream. It's been a good time. You all have a very good rest of your day. You all have a very good Menhera Monday. And without further ado, I will see you in the next stream. Bye-bye.